Hey everybody, welcome to the New York Times. We're solving the crossword this tricky Thursday live. We're a little bit different today. We've got Sam sequestered out in the middle of New Jersey. How's it going, Sam?
It's going well, Garrett. Thanks for having me here on the stream, but it looks like, in accord with this puzzle, there's no more of me in the New York Times building. I have been sequestered to my apartment. So I will be joining in remotely and calling on you many solvers as in the comments, as our evil genius, Garrett Amini, is all alone amid our beloved wordplay columnist, Deb Amlen, also absent again from Crosswords Live. How are you doing today, Garrett?
Pretty good. How are you?
Hanging in there. This is gonna be a really tricky Thursday puzzle. Honestly, just a standout offering by Schotzen Bernickel, one of the constructors on my personal pantheon of those whose contributors whose work I just love and know is going to be consistently good. This is Schotzen's 68th puzzle for the Times, which is pretty
68.
crazy.
68.
68
Wow.
and her fifth Thursday puzzle. Schotzen can make puzzles for absolutely any day of the week. It's pretty crazy. So
That
we,
is
we
super
gotta
impressive.
yeah, have you solved this one today?
I have
Or
not. No, I'm
all
coming into this
right.
fresh.
You get to be another guinea pig, and solvers, if this is your first time, your 100th time here, I mean, come one, come all, put your guesses in those comments and let's play too. So how would you go about solving this thing, Garrett? I mean, usually every Thursday puzzle has some sort of theme lurking around in its longest answers, but it's really not that obvious here, is it?
Yeah, we don't really have anything that's super long. There's no long verticals. There's no long. These big blocks I'd almost expect in a Friday puzzle,
Yeah,
perhaps.
there's stacks of seven-letter answers, right? They're kind of eye-popping, especially when there's some really cool fill, which we know Schultz and Bernickel can do.
Yeah, yeah. Well, should we get started here?
You got to dig in somewhere. I mean, solvers, Garrett, everybody, no matter which day of the week it is, your Mondays, your Thursdays, your soul-crushing Saturdays, there's always going to be a gimme in there somewhere. Whether it's a fill in the blank, a name that you know, or just something that just clicks in your mind that you're sure is right. So, for instance, go to six down, actress Falco. If you've solved enough crossword puzzles by now, or you've seen The Sopranos, you would know that there's no other Falco there. It's going to be actress Edie Falco, Edie.
I had no idea that she was in The Sopranos. All I knew is the name from crosswords. Yeah, a little bit of crosswordese.
Lovely, lovely. So there you go. Huh. Looks like your screen's not actually updating with mine remote, Garrett. So I'll just probably follow along on my own browser. But good to know. Good to know. We can adapt and all operate together. Bruce Giordano agrees with Edie. Nicola Xavier agrees with Edie Falco. Valerio Silvestri is back and playing from their new house. Excellent. Congrats on your new house. Hopefully it's comfy, nice and homey. Let's see. Bruce Giordano also thinks that seven down, right next to Edie, is going to be SAT test. That's weird to parse, but when you read the clue, exam for the college bound redundantly, I mean, yeah, that's certainly redundant. Am I right?
It sure is. What does SAT
So
stand for? Standard aptitude? Is that it?
standardized aptitude test or standard, something like that. But we know the T stands for test.
Indeed.
Oh no. Kathy Otahan is suggesting that I'm quarantined because I might have coronavirus. None known as far as I'm aware. I'm in accord with this puzzle. No more. I'm not allowed to show up in person for Crosswords Live. You'll see what shortly. So we've got six down and we've got seven down here. Garrett, this one seems applicable to you. If you go to 14 down, that should be a gimme, right? High
14
blank
down.
monitor, three letters.
That's got to be res.
It's got to be res, short for resolution. And Marilyn Johnson has chimed in and said that it's the Scholastic Aptitude Test for
Scholastic
SAT.
aptitude. Okay, that
So
makes more
there you go.
sense.
All right.
Yeah,
That would have been my second guess. Am I right?
sure.
Um, let's see. Nicole Xavier also says that we should jump around to 46 across. Nicole must have seen Veep. Are you a Veep fan, Garrett?
I am, and that's got to be Selena Meyer.
There we go. You've got it. Selina.
Oh,
Again, I'm just
INA.
Yep, there you go. INA. Not like Selena Gomez. Let's see. Gosh, all the commenters are back. Thanks for joining us today. Alex Thibodeau, ex-Abyss, is with us and says that 23 across looks like it should be A+, exceptional grade. I mean, that seems right. That's pretty dead on.
Sure. That makes sense.
Here's another reference for you, Garrett. I feel like you're the kind of person to watch Mr. Robot. No?
You know, I watched a season, and then that was about it. So this is killing me. I know it's on the tip of my brain. Villainous conglomerate.
Dude, the villainous conglomerate on eRobot. Solvers, help our evil genius out. It ends in a P. It's 5 letters. In the meantime, Kathy Otahen says that 15 across is O Canada. And fortunately, we already have the D and the A. Preceder of many NHL games. Yes, this has nothing to do with anything about the rules of the sport or an equivalent of a coin toss or a face-off. This is the national anthem of Canada.
Hey, Sam, do you know how Canada got its name?
How did Canada get its name, Garrett?
Well, they took all the letters of the alphabet and they put them in a hat, and then they started pulling them out, and they said C-A-N-A-D-A.
Oh, no. That's enough. You're cut off for the rest of the day. You should be the one isolated. I'm going to go to the Times next Thursday. So,
I probably should be.
My goodness.
Probably should be.
All right. Let's see. David Kwong, one of our fellow puzzle constructors and the host of the Words Magic show, The Enigmatist, has joined us and says, find me a higher Scrabble value than Schotzen Bernickel. David, thanks for joining us today. You got a guess for us? Chime in, man. We'd love to hear from you. Bruce Giordano says that 3 down could be fatal. Blank A, blank, blank L. Deadly.
I like that. That makes sense. Yeah.
Now, how about 4 down right next to it? Santa blank N blank. Now that we have a letter that can fall easily.
Yeah.
You've got that?
Some crosswordese as well.
Some crosswordese, or you've seen that clue maybe 10 times. That's with crossword solving. I mean, Garrett, from your experience,
Oreos, and
you do eat a lot of Oreos. But never enough. There's never enough Oreos in the New York Times crossword.
It's true.
Unless you're the editors trying to figure out new clues for Oreo, then it can become a hassle. So.
Hey Sam, there used to be, before the brand Oreo, there was an older clue for Oreo, wasn't there?
Oh goodness, yes. Solvers in the Eugene T. Moleska era, actually not even in the Will Weng era of the New York Times crossword, dating back to as early as the 60s. Oreo, O-R-E-O, was never clued as the cookie. It was the combining form or prefix, combining root word form of the word for the form of mountain. O-R-E-O means mountainous when you stem other words off of it. How about that? Today you learned, am I right?
That is, it's so obscure. I will never complain about the cookies again.
How would you feel about that as a clue for Oreo in, say, tomorrow's puzzle? Fair game?
Yeah, now it is. It's totally fair game now.
Bruce Giordano says that he wants to see Oreo clued that way in crosswords, not a bit at 17 across, 0%.
No.
Well done there. Way to parse a 3-word answer in only 7 letters. Those really aren't easy. Let's see. Eddie had a few guesses earlier. Let's go to 13 down first. I'm just jumping all around here. This is one where you would use your context clues. Am I right? I mean, your preparatory school since 1440. You might not have known that Eton was founded in that exact year, but that's a pretty cromulent guess. I'm fist pumping you over my camera. That's what we'll have to do today. But so there you go. You've got Eton. Marilyn Johnson says she senses a rebus, given all those short answers in the fills. Maybe
it's possible.
Maybe that's not. It's not a bad guess. Let's see. Valeria Silvestri says that. Oh, whoops! I lost that guess. Hold on.
Well, while you find it, I'm pretty sure that "Oh, did you start already?" is "Am I late?"
At 16 across, yes. Am I late? That's a nice one to parse too in a grid. Am I late? Not a bit. Those are interesting looking answers for only just 7 letters in a crossword grid. That's, I'd say, part of the part of the learning curve with solving the New York Times crossword. I mean, you're not going to say anything that tells you an answer like that is multiple words. You're just
Right.
going to have to pick up on that and stretch your brain, and the more you solve, the easier it's going to be.
That was hard for me when I started. I wanted one word for one answer
Yeah,
every
exactly.
time.
Oh, there it is. I found it now. Valeria Silvestri and Exhibis, they say that 22 across, Oscar-nominated actor Clive is Owen. Indeed. Whoops. I typed it wrong. I guess that wouldn't show up on your screen. um,
Now, I don't know what he got the Oscar for, but it should have been Children of Men.
it should have been Children of Men. Okay, there you go. Someone can fill us in. This, as you know, is not my wheelhouse, but that's the beauty of solving the crossword together, is that everybody has their own personal wheelhouses. Am I right? So if we all put our heads together, I mean, Garrett, you and I almost make one good brain.
Almost. Without Deb here, we're about 2/3 of a good brain.
Yeah, that's true. We really need Deb. Deb is actually okay. We'll let the secret out. Deb is giving a presentation on crosswords today for the Smithsonian. So she's actually away in D.C. right now. And well, why should she? I'd say one remote solver is quite enough. Am I right? And I wasn't giving up the throne. So, now this is interesting. Bruce Giordano wants us to jump to one down
One
and
down.
says that much painted religious figure really, really, really wants to be Madonna. The problem is that doesn't fit, right? It's blank O-N blank A is what you have.
Right, so we can almost get Donna here.
You can, I mean, I guess, but it's incomplete. Like, look, Thursdays have tricky themes, but if you're going to do something like that, there needs to be a reason why. We don't just do this stuff in crosswords for no reason. It's the constructors that come up with this stuff for absolutely no reason whatsoever. So leave it to us. But on the solving side, there needs to be a strong inspiration for doing so.
Now, is it
So
possible that is that Madonna?
Madonna. So how are you gonna? How about this? Let's check one across.
Okay, let's do that.
Mugged for the camera, maybe. We just had mean mugs in a crossword not too many Thursdays back. Now we're thinking about just mugging for the camera in general. What's that mean?
Well, that's got to be made faces.
Made faces, indeed. So how do we enter that? I mean, we can put the C at 5 down. The waiter in the airport queue is going to be cab.
Sure.
But I'll let you in on a little secret right now, which might not be clear. But today's puzzle, as crazy as it sounds, is actually not a rebus.
Wait, what?
It's going to be I know. You really want to enter MAD, M-A-D, into that top left corner. But that, my friends, Romans countrymen, that is why Schoetzen is one of the best in the biz. That is a very deceptive trap. And your mind is going to be absolutely blown when you figure out what exactly is going on.
Well, how about we keep that rebus for now, while we go through and figure it out.
You entered in MAD into that square at 1 across.
Yep. So
Okay,
2 down. That's got to be E Corp.
that is going to be E Corp, gives us NRA at 19 across. And then, for all intents and purposes, we'll call this top left complete. And we will come back to it. In the meantime, how about, let's see, what are some guesses going on here? Valeria Silvestri is commenting on a very good brain. Indeed, we all make a very good brain solving together. You all have your own, but this is more for our end. Alex Thibodeau says that 26 across will matter. Now, this is tricky to parse. It starts with an E. That's all we've got. But what's your first impression upon reading a clue like that, Garrett? Have you even figured out the tense of that clue?
Well, I think
Part of
it's.
speech?
So I think the answer is probably Campbell's soup, because that's all that Will Shorts eats. So Will is made up of the
really know
will.
the secrets.
Will matter is Campbell's soup.
Yes, indeed, it's Campbell's soup. It's an absolutely crazy rebus. Campbell's and Progresso.
Yeah,
Th
there we
those
go.
are our advertisements for the day, right? But it sounds like when you read will matter, like something will matter in the end. Like being able to read these clues right will matter in your ability to solve. However, you were thinking of Will Shortz. That's not what we're going through for. The Times crossword doesn't stroke egos quite like that. But we're talking about a matter in a certain will. And that, as Alex Thibodeau has pointed out, is going to be an estate.
Yes, indeed. That gives us also the
Indeed.
CSI on the 21 down.
Indeed, and etc. at 20 to cross, list
Yeah.
ender, maybe. So let's creep back into this top right. How about 18 across? Some male escorts ending in OS.
Is that gigolos?
It is gigolos. There we go. Nice work there with just 2 out of the 7 letters. So the beauty of having all these 3-letter crossers is that with 2 letters in, I mean, it should be more straightforward than we'd think, right? So let's just try and bang these out. 8 down.
Jokester.
9 down. A jokester would be. This is a tough way to clue a wag. You know, an old wag, someone who's
Never heard
engaged
that.
in all this funnery. No.
Never
Okay,
heard that.
it's a little old timey. Moving right along. 9 down. A one-time London-based record label
EMI?
that is going to be EMI. Intolerant sort at 10 down.
A bigot?
That would be a bigot. How about this? 11 down. Well, let's just keep on cruising. Lost steam.
Slowed?
That is going to be slowed. Well done. We're moving quickly here, solvers, but you'll get to a point, if you're not already there, where it's just being able to read these clues and these with enough letters in place. That's the beauty of having these crossers, is it's so much clearer now. So now we get to 12 down. Food cooked in a corn husk.
So that's a tamale.
That would be a tamale. Sort of Americanized in the singular that way. In authentic Spanish, I believe you'd say tamal. But even that aside, we can't fit that in the grid. We have one square. Well, on one hand, we want to say maybe that's a rebus where we can write more than one letter in a single square. But let's go to 8 across.
It doesn't work for 8 across, does it? Because that would be a site administrator, which you'd think with a rebus maybe that'd be webmaster.
Yeah, but we definitely know. I mean, we just checked the crossers. It's WEB. It has to go right to S. We're not doing it's not Maslow'd, like Maslow's what hierarchy means. Sorry, that was really, really, really bad.
What would it mean to Maslow, somebody? Like deny your self-fulfillment? Somehow, I don't know.
Thanks for laughing at our jokes, everybody. So Walter Ian K is like, wait, why would Webmaster have part of it written backwards or not in the grid? Valeria Silvestri thinks it has to be Webmaster. Alex Thibodeau says Webmaster, but also Tamale. I mean, so let's take away the clue for a second. What can, just by looking at 6 of those 7 letters, what can fit in 8 across?
Well, it could be Webster and tail. Like Webster, like the famous senator, or eponymous dictionary.
And then, tail. I mean, well, a tail is not a food cooked in a corn husk. But you know what I find interesting is that the T, that gives us a letter that is showing up in tamale. And Webmaster, I mean, it's just missing the letters, what, M-A, right? W-B.
As is Made Faces and Donna.
Oh, you don't say.
So everything we've got let's see, 2 down clues and 2 across clues that are both missing the word M-A, the letters M-A.
So you see, so you've written it in as Defaces and Donna, right?
Right.
There was no rebus after all. Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
Kathy O has figured out what's going on. Ali Bennett agrees that Webster is definitely what we're going to write in the grid. This is this is called stretching your mind on these crazy, crazy Thursday offerings. Is there's something is clearly amiss here, but you as the solver not only need to read the clues the right way in order to crack what they're going for, but sometimes you just got to read them the wrong way, ignore them, or read into the grid a little differently. These rules in crosswords, just when you think you've got it down, we love keeping you on your toes because there's always some rule that's meant to be broken. Am I right? I mean, last week we saw more than one, in fact, more than 10 correct solutions for the crossword puzzle.
What a great puzzle that was. So much fun.
That was, I told you, one of my all-time faves. But in the meantime, we're going to have to keep moving right along, though. I'm seeing some solvers that have some pretty good ideas. You're on the right track. How about, what's that?
Let's keep going. What do we got?
Keep on going. All right. How about this? Let's go to 42 down. Another fill in the blank.
Jumping ahead. I think we've got people. You're pushing us to 42 down.
I am pushing us to 42 down. That's just me. Just me. I like highlighting the fill in the blanks because I feel like that's a perfectly logical way to go about solving the puzzle when you are stumped. Am I right?
Those trivia questions, yeah. That's great.
So, do you know your French exclamations?
Yeah, that's got to be mon Dieu.
Mon Dieu, my God, in French. D-I-E-U. Excellent from Artie, Valeria Silvestri, Walter Ian K. And then Bruce Giordano wants us to jump back to 25 down. He believes that medieval laborers, now that we've got the first S there, are serfs. That sounds right to me.
Yes, indeed. You know, that's one where without that first letter, you could easily say peons.
Indeed. Or if you're using your very, very old, extremely old crosswordies, you would say that, I don't even know if it's pronounced correctly. Are you familiar with your Esni, as I would just refer to it as?
Like,
so 80s crosswords, and before that answer used to show up in so many puzzles because it was the most helpful crutch to crossword constructors. I mean, the friendliest letters you could ask for. So there you go. That's the crossword info that you didn't need to know because we have no intent of ever running that in one of our puzzles again. So,
well, thank Dieu for that one.
Yeah, well, thank Dieu. Merci Dieu. Judy Patel, in the meantime, wants me to stop goofing around and says that time in court at 29 across is going to be a session. That looks good, given the letter patterns. The session is in at 29 down, or 29 across. Bruce Giordano says that 44 across off that S from serfs. Down in the dumps is sad.
True.
Indeed. These are, I would say some more straightforward clues than normal. But that's because I'll tell you, if you're not surprised yet, I mean, there's so much trickery in this grid, Garrett. Just you wait. That's what's so fun about these kinds of crazy Thursday puzzles is they lend themselves to such great aha moments. At least that's what we're striving for on the editing side. We're actually really picky about the puzzles we accept these days because we really want those puzzles to have that strong click that just makes you smile when you figured out what's going on, So that's our goal. Let's see. Sid Sivakumar is chiming in saying, I think Esni is Anglo-Saxon. Okay, good to know. And a fellow crossword constructor would know that. Thank you, Sid. Sid's got some puzzles coming up for us soon. He's also had a pack in the app under Joel. Let's see. What's your eye drawn to, Garrett? Otherwise, I'll pick on some solvers here.
Yeah, let's jump around a little bit. So we got 45 down. That's Penn Neighbor. That's probably Delaware.
Indeed, and it's an abbreviation in the clue, so that's going to be an abbreviation in the answer.
Right. I see 27 down. That's going to be 2, T-O-O.
Additionally is 2. Again, nothing tricky behind that, so you got it.
What else do we have here?
Walter Ian K says that 30 down looks like it should be sesame. The bagel choice.
Excellent choice of a bagel, I would say.
Indeed. I like my everything bagels myself, so that encompasses it. I'll allow it.
Well, everything is the correct answer, but sesame is a good answer.
Good. Egg bagel is also acceptable.
Yes, indeed.
Let's see. Artie agrees with sesame. Valeria agrees with 2. Ali Bennett and Bruce Giordano both want us to go to 50 down. To the right of
15
Del,
down.
they know that uncle in Oaxaca, again, nothing tricky here. Not our hardest clue we've ever gone for, is Theo. That is correct. I mean, there are only so many creative ways you can clue that answer to. We don't want to stump our solvers on Theo.
Oh, here's a fun one. 46 down. That's a Shar-Pei.
Dog with wrinkly skin is a Shar-Pei. I
Those are
like that you
great.
can reverse the vowels and get Sharpie there.
That's a fun one. I'm all for more dog clues in the
All
crossword.
for more dogs. You know what? You know what? Very behind the scenes. You're going to like a diagramless puzzle created by none other than the brilliant Joel Faliano that's going to run in the months to come. It may or may not have to do with the a man's best friend, as you will.
That sounds great. I'm excited for that.
Yes, he just made it. I just got to test solve it yesterday. So there's some real behind the scenes stuff for you. Let's see. What else are we working with here? Interesting. Alex Thibodeau, with no letters in place whatsoever, wants us to go to 68 across as we try and crack open this bottom left. Knows that many a limo is town car. Really impressive.
Wow.
No letters in there. I mean, I happen to be here to confirm the answer as I helped edit this puzzle, but let's say we weren't sure. Why not go to, say, 57 down, crossing town car at the O? And we know that yours to Yvette, so that's yours in French, is going to be à toi, A-T-O-I. So that's some French 101. If you didn't know that, maybe hopefully you had town car first, or you can use some other crossers to help you. It's all a chain reaction here, right?
It's all coming along. We're moving ahead at a pretty good clip here. Let's see.
Yeah, we're more than halfway, that's for sure. Here's one, Judy Patel. This is, again, a wheelhouse, and we do have enough letters to make an educated guess. 2009 biopic starring Hilary Swank is going to be Amelia, around Amelia Earhart. That is correct. I believe she was Oscar nominated for that.
Was she? I think she won for $1 Million Baby, but I don't think she won for that one.
You would know better than me. We're out here still trying to figure out what Clive Owen was nominated for. So.
Well, 52 down is probably mince.
Cut into small pieces is mince, indeed. Oh, here, talk about wheelhouses. 54 down for all the baseball fans in the room, itching for baseball, itching for the season to get started in 3 weeks, unless, of course, like me, you're an Orioles fan. Catcher with a record 10 World Series rings as a player. If you know baseball, you know that that's going to be Yogi Berra, Berra.
Isn't like the entire offseason for baseball 3 weeks? I don't know. It seems like it's just all year. It goes
by in the blink of an eye, especially when football and basketball are just there humming right along. If you're partial to all these sports, of course.
Oh, yeah, you forgot one. You forgot
Oh,
one.
I know. I'm sorry, I refuse to recognize MLS.
Premier League is also playing right now. So
This is true. My Reds finally lost. I'm very upset to Watford of all teams. Unbelievable. Walter Ian K wants us to continue to get global as we talk about Premier League. And let's go to 57 across. This is, I believe it's German-based grocery chain with more than 1,900 U.S. stores is Aldi, A-L-D-I. And here's an absolutely crazy one for you, Garrett. This is the very, very first time that Aldi has ever appeared in a New York Times crossword.
No way. It's a pretty good combination of letters there. It's 4 letters wrong. That's really surprising.
Sometimes it just takes just enough for an answer to permeate in Will's mind, I will say, the mainstream. And
now, are they sponsoring his Progresso soup habit? Is that what's happening?
That's exactly what's happening. He's buying it from Aldi, of course. I actually don't think Joel grew up around Aldi either. I remember us talking about this. But so I think it's here to stay. As you point out, and the constructors are thinking about, those are 4 extremely common letters of the alphabet. It's like the first time in 2010 when acai showed up in the New York Times crossword puzzle. And
That's been a
that has
handy
made,
one.
I mean, more than 50, 60 appearances since then. I love stuff like that just starts to, come about. So, how about this? 49 across, given the pattern of knowns and unknowns, it looks like it wants to be methane, but that's not the correct answer for I agree with both of you. It's going to be me 3. Got that
indeed.
one?
Yes, indeed.
And that is how you start to think about patterns more and more. How about this? Artie pointed out earlier at 59 across. The Chicago airport code is going to be ORD.
O'Hare, very, very busy.
Very, very busy.
I find with this entry of Aldi, I find it interesting when clues fall out of favor. Like,
Oh, yeah?
there were a good several years where Una Chaplin in Game of Thrones was a legitimate way to clue something, but would we still allow something with Una in it?
Yeah, well, so we still so there was Una Chaplin, there was Una O'Neill was the classic way of cluing it. But Una, we could still do that. I mean, as you say, it's a crossword crutch. It's in history, so we'll probably allow it. She played Chaplin, who played Talisa on Game of Thrones, and she was, Una O'Neill was Charlie Chaplin's one of his ex-wives, immortalized in the New York Times crossword. So here, Aaron J. Wood pointed out an answer that is near and dear to my heart, Garrett. Do you want to go to 65 across?
Sentence containing all 26 letters.
All 26 letters. So the correct answer for that, and I've got a little tiny backstory without digressing too much. The correct answer to this is going to be pangram.
Wait, really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So as a matter of fact, this coinage, shall we say, has really taken off lately in something called the New York Times Spelling Bee, a game of anagramming words edited by yours truly. So we use the pangram to denote the answer or multiple answers that use all 7 letters in the spelling bee puzzle's hive. However, that's almost a misnomer of the word pangram. The pangram basically combines to just mean all the letters, but in its traditional form, it refers to a sentence, as we see here, containing every letter of the alphabet used for typewriting purposes to test your typewriter out, like the quip brown fox jumped over the lazy dogs. So that's what pangram means. Today you learned. Now we've adopted it into spelling bee. So woohoo! Making pangrams here to stay. Free pangrams. So
Well,
how about that?
One. I like that.
Here we
Pangram
go.
today on Spelling Bee was pretty tough, I would say.
What's that?
I thought the Spelling Bee pangram today was a little tough.
Little tough. It's an odd one. It's out there, shall we say?
It is out there for sure.
Glad you like that. I hope you all are enjoying the Bee Solvers. I'm having a good time with it, as I'm sure you're aware. In the meantime, let's get back to this. Marilyn Johnson and Walter Ian Kay, they both say that 38 down is Baylor, as in not the school in Texas, the hay bundling machine, Baler.
Yes,
That
indeed.
is what we're looking for. And Bruce Giordano wants us to go off the G from pangram, knows that melted ice cream, e.g., is goo. Nice one.
Yes, it is. And that right next to it, Planet Money, that's going to be NPR.
You didn't even need the N there. You would have gotten that with no letters, huh?
For sure.
And how about this? Let's see. 60 down, blank Yankees. Anybody have any guesses for that?
Well, I've got a few. Is it Damn Yankees?
It is damn Yankees. And that's what I'm going to be saying in early April, the moment that the Yankees sweep the Orioles for the first time in 6 times this season.
Wait, so that's in quotes. Is that like a film or something that I've not heard of?
Yes, it's a film. It's a musical. I want to say it started as.
Oh, okay.
But I know it was at least a film. So there you go. Gotta love your baseball.
I thought it was just something that everybody said.
It's certainly Certainly something that but sorry, Yankees fans. Actually, not really. You all are going to win the World Series this year. Marilyn Johnson agrees with damn. Yes, it's a musical comedy. She's pointing out. Thank you. Valeria Sylvester's really catching on to what's going on. The added letters are MA. Madonna Webmaster is also pointing out. Go to 58 down, Garrett.
58
Wyatt
down.
Earp for one. It's over on the left side next to Atois. Wyatt Earp for one. The answer, as Valeria astutely pointed out, is lawman or lawman.
But without the
we're
MA.
writing it as LAWN, as lawn. Wyatt Earp is not a lawn, it's a lawman, but we've removed the letters MA for some reason that we still need to figure out. So well done for pointing that out. In the meantime, Artie and Eli Darrington believe that over on the bottom left, Cardinals on scoreboards. There's a lot of baseball. Schultzen, I know, likes baseball, though, so we like it when the constructors' work resonates with their personalities. Cardinals on scoreboards is STL, St. Louis. And gosh, we can even bang out this next two short downs. Cobb of Corn at 63 down is going to be ear, right?
Right.
And then ER or OR figures are going to be doctors. So there you go. Nothing crazy, but that's because we don't want to kill you on this gimmick that we still haven't fully deciphered.
So
I mean, my goodness.
Sickness to avoid work. And I've got LIN blank ERS. What could that be?
What could that be? How about 62 across, right above it? I love clues like this. They're just so evocative. Like some reputations and kitchen towels.
That's got to be stained.
That is going to be stained. And maybe 48 down. Can we get that? Like the sun at sunset?
Fading?
It is fading. So that gives us 70 across. Lingers? Feigns sickness to avoid work? That doesn't make much sense. Any ideas?
Do we have any solvers have any suggestions on this one?
Artie is figured out. I'll wait for a few more to trickle in. In the meantime, why don't we try and knock out, now that we got that F from fading, let's go to 47 across. Sign on a staff.
That's a clef.
That is a clef. Nice work. It's musical staffs, musical signs. And let's see, it left over to 53 across. Apply as sunscreen. Any ideas there?
Rub on.
Rub on, I
in.
like. It could be rub in. I think rub in makes the most sense there. You really want to rub in. How about 55 down? Let me repeat. I blank, A blank blank.
I said,
to clarify, and then how about this? Look at 56 down. How did we miss this earlier?
oh no.
Oh, yes.
Oh no.
No, in Mexico.
That
For
is
a hint to 11 answers in this puzzle have
Wow.
this trickery. What do we got, Garrett?
It is no mas.
It is no mas. And that's why I was saying in the beginning, no more. I'm not going to be in for live today. Sorry, everybody. But no mas, meaning there are no MAs in 11. Oh my gosh, 11 answers in this puzzle can have the letters MA removed and still look perfectly cromulent written in a crossword grid. Look at Webster from Webmaster, Faces from Made Faces, Donna from Madonna, Tail from Tamale, Lawman or Lawn from Lawman. What else do we have? Artie had pointed out, Bruce Giordano had pointed out, it's lingers from malingers, feign sickness to avoid work. So that's symmetric too. Catch that?
It is indeed.
It is indeed. I mean, my goodness. And so here we go, continuing that up. Nicole Xavier says that if we go to 36 down, evil intent. I'll give you a hint. It has something to do with the no mas. It's going to be, you're going to write it in the grid as lice because it's malice. right? Malice
Yeah.
in the Palace.
So a red choice is probably what, a claret?
It is a claret. There we go. How about this? The Gamblers Hangout in brief. O blank B. This shows up a lot in crosswords. Eddie's got us. It is OTB for off-track betting, and that's also the site where you could actually go gamble for your horse racing. What else do we got?
Well, that 28 down there, Dancer's Horn, that's going to be antler.
It is indeed Dancer. Did anybody solve the Super Mega? It has something to do with Dancer in there as well.
A little bit.
Anonymous says hi. Hi, Anonymous. Come put your guesses in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. This should be fun, right? Even if you've never played us. Eli Darrington wants us to go to 40 across. Large guard dogs.
Well, I would say mastiffs.
Yeah, that's the right thing to say, but that shouldn't be the right thing to write in. What do you have to write in?
You have to write in stiffs.
You have to write in stiffs. Indeed. So that gives us. So what's 35 down? There's only one possibility there, even before you read the clue.
Yeah.
It's going to be control, and then right next to it, small pouch at 40 down is sack. So there you go. We've got 9 letters left. Let's wrap up the puzzle. Have we even found all of these yet? I mean, my gosh.
Well, let's count here. So we got Defaces, Donna, there's 2. Webster and Webmaster and Tamale.
Mm-hmm.
There's 4. So we've got Mastiffs and Malice, 6.
Indeed.
We've got Lawman and Malingers, that's 8.
Indeed, that's 8.
So we've got 3 remaining.
Interesting. But where?
Well, there's only 9 letters left. Let's see what we can do here.
Well, there's actually one that we already have filled in. It's diabolical. What you'll notice is that everything is symmetric so far, with no must. So go to 71 across. This, I would say, is the trickiest one because inroad is already sort of a wonky answer. But much traveled thoroughfares, it's your main roads.
Well, that puts us at 9.
That puts us at 9. So where, oh where, could our last 2 answers be if this is indeed symmetrically laid out, which we would ask for in our crosswords?
I would probably say that's 41 across.
I like that. So aches and pains. 6 letters, L-A-D blank, blank, blank. Artie has an idea. Valeria has a good idea, tinkering with the spelling. But I know several put their guesses earlier. It's tough. What do we got? Have you figured it out, Garrett?
Yeah, that's going to be maladies.
Maladies, and we write it in as ladies. And then, what do we got? That's just going to be, how about 39 across? Let's do that first.
39 across.
Noteworthy time period.
That could
What's
be
that?
an eon or an era, right?
Yes, but here, so how about this? This is a learning experience. Go ahead and write in eon. But then check 33 down.
Oh, yeah, that won't work.
Blank OEA. So that's just one way you can just rule out stuff like that. You go, there's no way blank OEA is right. Unless it's some sort of a biology suffix. But your surface figure is going to be area, as in a figure, a calculation, a number. So we have 2 letters left.
Well, we've got used to be, which is was.
I like that.
And
then how about 32 down, stay behind.
Remain.
Remain, that's the one. So don't go anywhere, solvers. So you got the congrats message, I assume, right?
Yeah, there it is.
Thursday puzzle? Wonderful, wonderful. We conquered a tricky Thursday. I mean, Garrett, you didn't even need me in the building to do this one. You had all these solvers that were just able to crush it, see right through what was going on.
Had
When
so much
Showtime
help.
told me, no mas, you're not allowed to be here, Sam. And to Deb as well. This was your time to shine, Garrett. I mean, everybody. This was what a puzzle to kick off or to serve as the Thursday for Women's Constructor Week over at the New York Times Crossword too, to kick off Women's History Month. I mean, Schoetzen is truly one of the best puzzle makers in the game, and this is just one of her finest efforts. I mean, I don't know what that's saying. 11 different theme answers plus a reveal that all make for these just interesting ways of entering them in the grid. That's just a Thursday concept you don't see much of that's done so well. So one last time, you've got made faces from defaces, or excuse me, defaces from made faces, Donna from Madonna, Webster from Webmaster, Tail from Tamale, Lice from Malice, Stiffs from Mastiffs, Lawn from Lawman, Lingers from Malingers, Inroads from Main Roads, Ladies from Maladies, and Rain from Remain, all capped up by no mas, no MAs, a perfectly natural, funny revealer that gives you quite the aha, all laid out symmetrically in the grid, and with cool bonus stuff too, like Go Canada, Am I Late, Not a Bit, Gigolos, Me 3, Pangram. You know I'm going to love any puzzle that has Pangram in it. So, hope you all had fun solving. Garrett, hope you had fun navigating this one. How difficult did this one end up proving?
You know, it was a little bit tricky, especially in that top left where I thought it could be a rebus.
Yeah, exactly.
But ended up a pretty fun little puzzle. Great 68th entry. Now, Sam? What's special about the puzzles this week?
Yeah, so that's actually. I mean, I started to chime in about it. This week, the New York Times, in celebration of Women's History Month, this entire week of puzzles are written by some noted women constructors whose work we just know we love. Some up-and-comers, some big names that have been making puzzles for years now. We just wanted to pick a nice mix of 7 that would just make an excellent week to commemorate the month. So this is the Thursday puzzle for that week by Schoetzen Bernakel, one of the most prolific women constructors in general to ever have their work grace the New York Times. What's so crazy about Schoetzen in particular, I just want to mention this. Her first puzzle for the Times wasn't even until late 2012.
Wow.
And now merely 8 years later, she has had one of the highest puzzle totals in the Times all time, or at least in Will Shortz's tenure. I mean, it's truly crazy the kind of work that she can put out. 10 plus themelesses, 20 plus Mondays for Fifth Thursday. She knows how to make a mean Sunday puzzle too. I mean, that's what this whole week is about, is just celebrating, the women constructors, but just standout constructors whose work we just know we absolutely love. We figured this was a good time to do as such. So we hope you enjoyed the puzzle.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoy this entire week of puzzles all together. And this was Crosswords Live. Lots of fun.
Yeah.
Hope you all had a blast.
So
anything
Sam,
I'm forgetting, Garrett?
Yeah. I was just going to say that, we're pretty eager to publish puzzles from diversity of voices.
Yes.
But it is true that the vast majority of submissions that we get, so the times that we don't go out and ask people to create puzzles. We work with what is submitted to us. And the vast majority of submissions are coming from men. And we would love to have more diverse voices in the crossword. We'd love to have more representation throughout it. So how do people go about learning how to create and submit a puzzle?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I mean, first of all, just to echo your sentiment, absolutely. I mean, the Times Crossword right now, we get over 150 submissions in a given week. So as you say, there's not really – we're not going out and knocking on people's doors for puzzles here when you all are already inundating us, but we absolutely would love – because with the greater diversity in the people whose work we publish, we know that that's going to reach a greater diversity of solvers as a result, and I think that's exactly what the Times Crossword should embody. So if you've ever been interested in making a puzzle at any point, especially if you're in an underrepresented group currently amid our puzzle bylines, there's an entire guide for how to make a crossword puzzle on the wordplay column. It's pinned at the top. It's, how to make a crossword puzzle. It's a 5-part series, including editorial feedback by my 2 colleagues, Will and Joel. And in the meantime, there is also the crossword The Crossword Puzzle Collaboration Directory. If you're on Facebook, you can find that page, I believe. Crossword Puzzle Collaboration Directory is the page you want to go for, with some experienced mentors of all different backgrounds willing to help you learn what you need in order to start making puzzles. So we encourage that. We'd love to see your work. I usually get to be the first pair of eyes on everything that graces our submissions pile. So I'd really love to see more of anybody that ever wants to make a puzzle for us, no matter what your background is. So, yeah, am I missing anything?
I think that covers it.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, and hopefully my voice wasn't too echoey here. I don't know. But thanks for bearing with me remote. Hopefully there wasn't too much lag. We'll be back next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Deb and myself will be back in the lab with Garrett, our evil genius. And we'll see you next week, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks so much for joining, everybody.
All right.
Have a good rest of your week.
See you, everyone.